Hello all, straight to the point on this one. In this video, I want to talk to you about what the hell just happened with Mayweather and Jake Paul. Now, what happened, as many of you know, Mayweather and Logan Paul, the elder brother out of the Paul brothers, are due to have an exhibition match in June 2021, which is only next month. Today, they had a press conference. Today, Logan Paul and Mayweather, they both exchanged words on the stage. Now, what happened subsequently was that after this press conference, Jake Paul and Mayweather bumped into each other outside the venue. Now, it started with both Jake Paul and Mayweather talking to each other. They got up really close with one another, and you can see Mayweather actually speaking to Jake Paul and Jake Paul talking back to him. The best way I could describe it is they were body to body in some sense. Now, the thing which actually triggered everything and caused a commotion to ensue was that Jake Paul started to tell Mayweather that he needs to ask Haymon to allow him to fight. Now, for those who don't know, Haymon is one of the godfathers of boxing promoters in recent years. He's known to be instrumental in Floyd's career in the past and has helped Floyd set up big matches, boxing matches in his career. So that, to explain in a nutshell, is what Jake Paul was referencing to. Now, going back to the confrontation, Jake Paul kept on taunting at that fact that he needs to ask Haymon in order to have permission to fight. Now, this is in other words basically telling Floyd Mayweather, look, you're not your own boss. You need to ask Haymon for permission to fight. This has obviously pissed off Floyd Mayweather. For those who don't know, Floyd is someone who does not like being told that he's not his own boss. In his past fights, such as the fights that he's had with Canelo, with Pacquiao and De La Hoya, and most recently Conor McGregor, during press conferences, during interviews, Floyd made it clear, he absolutely vocalized that he is his own boss. He has his own money team, he has his own promotion, he is his own boss. He always makes that point clear. Jake Paul knew that, and clearly he used that as a way to get at Floyd and make him switch. Now, Floyd is always very good in keeping cool. He didn't react physically to that. However, what kicked off everything out of the park was when Jake Paul grabbed Floyd Mayweather's hat and I quote, said to Floyd Mayweather, "Got your hat," and then turned around and started to walk away. This is what blew everything out of the park. Mayweather then went after Jake Paul, grabbed him, and from the footage, from what I've seen, it's clear that Mayweather probably landed a couple of blows on Jake Paul. And the words was shouted by Floyd Mayweather constantly was, put some respect, give some respect, which I would presume is give some respect to himself. No one expected Jake Paul to do this. No one expected them to get up that close to each other. No one expected Jake Paul to do something childish as taking a grown man's hat off his head. Think about it. You're taking a professional athlete's hat off his head and saying to him, got your hat. Now, I don't know whether he thinks that Mayweather is his older brother, his uncle, or his good friend, but it's a clear sign of disrespect, and it is basically trying to make Floyd look small. From the footage, you can see Jake is already towering over Mayweather, and also Jake is also vocally giving it back to Mayweather. Two things you can already see here that it's not going in Mayweather's favour, but the fact that he took his hat off him, turned around and started to walk away with his hat, that was probably the bit which ticked Mayweather off. Now, during the commotion, a lot of people surrounded Mayweather and Jake Paul. A lot of people were trying to stop him. You could even see Logan Paul, the older brother, he actually was being stopped by other people. He was trying to get into the mix as well, but it's clear from the footage that some of Mayweather's security was probably holding him back and trying to separate it all out. Now, I say Jake Paul was probably given a few punches. One, because it was quite clear on the footage he was hit, but also on the footage you could see Jake Paul holding his face. Now, I know that probably that is two signs. There's two reasons for that. The first is he's probably trying to hide an injury. Maybe he got a cut, maybe he's bleeding and he didn't want other people to see that. And two, he was probably trying to hide his face, I'm not sure. But again, Jake was shouting during this commotion, saying, "Got your hat, got your hat." Now that's pretty much what happened. It all happened in the space of 20 seconds. Like I said, no one expected this to happen, and I'm sure there's going to be more opinions on this. Now, let me know what you guys think. It's a quick snapshot of what just happened. Hopefully I provided some sort of answer, a quick little debrief of what just happened. Let me know if you think Jake Paul deserved it. Comment if you think he was being childish. Comment if you think Mayweather was out of order. He's a professional athlete, should not punch someone without gloves on or in a professional arena. Or do you think Jake Paul totally deserved it? Someone doing that to a grown-ass man who has 50 fights in his career, who's never had that level of disrespect to him at face level. Bear in mind, Mayweather is probably considered one of the best to ever do it in boxing. Now, again, this is something which is totally out of everyone's sort of view. Let me know what you guys think, and do leave a comment and let me know what you think. Out.